there are many powers that Congress is specifically given in the Constitution. And here is the list. These are the powers of Congress. The first is to tax. The money that is collected from taxes may be used to pay government debt, to defend our country, and to pay for services that are for the good of the people. Congress may also borrow money with the promise that they will one day pay it back. They also make laws about trade, which is called commerce. Commerce or trade with other countries, among the states, and with Native Americans. Congress decides how a person who was not born here can become a citizen. That is called naturalization. Congress also sets up bankruptcy laws so that people who go broke, no matter what state they live in, will be treated the same way. Congress can print and coin money, and they're the only ones that can do that. No longer can states print their own money. And they say how much our money is worth and how much foreign money is worth in this country. Congress also decides how we're going to weigh and measure things, which explains why we're still using inches instead of centimeters and meters, and why we're using pounds instead of kilos. Congress decides how to punish a counterfeiter. A counterfeiter is somebody who makes something that's fake, like fake money. Congress sets up the post office and any roads that are necessary to deliver mail. Congress grants patents and copyrights. A patent is a legal right to ownership and control of an invention, and a copyright is the legal right for a period of time to how your work is going to be used, whether it be written work, artistic work, or musical work. Congress also sets up federal courts, but all of them that have less power than our Supreme Court. Congress decides what it is a crime on the high seas and how to punish those who break international laws. Congress declares war. Many people think that's the president's job, but it is not. The president can ask for a declaration of war, but only Congress can declare war. Congress establishes and supplies our military forces. They can also call for help from the state militia. A militia are trained citizen soldiers who serve in cases of emergency, such as our National Guard. So they might be called to help out to uphold our nation's laws. So if a place has broken out into riots and the police can't handle it, they may send in the militia. Congress may ask the local militia to go in and help. Or to fight those who want to overthrow our government. So in times of terrorism or terror alerts, the militia may be asked to help. And fight those who want to overthrow or attack our country. Congress also makes laws for where they're going to meet, which at this time is Washington, D.C., and also for all the places that they bought from the states, such as the military bases, the Navy yards, the forts. So when you go down through Camp Pendleton, that's actually federal land, even though it's in the state of California. And this last part expands all these identified powers so that they can make laws to carry out the powers given to Congress by the Constitution. So this is where we expand. Doesn't have to be exactly specified, but going to be pulled and said, well, this is necessary to make our other rules work. Enumerated powers are called express powers, and they are listed in the Constitution. This power number 17 are called implied powers. They're not clearly stated in the Constitution, but are deemed necessary for the good of the country and the people. Implied powers may also be called elastic, because like a rubber band, they expand or stretch the powers of Congress. And under the General Welfare Clause, we have the federal government has built dams and flood control projects, set up our national parks, and set up Social Security and its benefits for the elderly and those who are injured or too young to take care of themselves. These are things that our framers had never thought of, and that's why this elastic clause, this implied powers, is so important. Our framers didn't know what was going to come in the years that we have reached so far, so there was no way for them to predict some of the things that were necessary. So that's called implied powers. That's how Congress stretches their power.